In this episode, we're going to talk about trusts that are designed to provide for beneficiaries who are suffering from mental health challenges. Mental health disorders can vary widely, but unfortunately, some individuals have an underlying condition that is so severe that it can result in this time period. It could be a temporary time period, it could be lengthier time periods where they're not able to establish stability. It may affect their ability to manage money on their own. And so instead of making an outright distribution of money to an individual who is suffering from this underlying condition, it may be a better solution to put funds into a trust that can be used for certain purposes and on their behalf instead of making that outright distribution. Mental illness encompasses a vast category of different underlying conditions, and a trust can be flexible and uniquely tailored to address the underlying conditions that your particular beneficiary is suffering from. Many individuals suffering from mental illness can find greater mental and emotional stability by attending to their daily needs and utilizing tools that may be available to them. So, for example, counseling, medication management, therapy, and other tools that may help address the underlying conditions that your beneficiary is dealing with. The trust provisions may be designed to encourage and empower your beneficiary to utilize and leverage those tools that may be available to them. So, for example, the trust may allow the trustee to distribute funds from the trust to be applied directly toward the cost of counseling, therapy, medications, or other health and wellness alternatives. If desired, distributions could be restricted for only those purposes. Or, for example, the trust might provide more flexibility, allowing the trustee to make outright distributions directly to the beneficiary if they're satisfied that the beneficiary is attending to their emotional and mental needs. So, for example, this could be evidenced through attending counseling or therapy, taking medication, or otherwise demonstrating stability in their life. And conversely, if the trust is set up this way, a trustee could withhold distributions if the beneficiary is demonstrating a period of instability. So if the beneficiary is not able to demonstrate that they're attending to their needs, maybe they're not taking their medication, maybe they're not attending counseling, the trustee could have discretion to withhold distributions for a period of time. Now, that's a provision that you don't have to include in the trust. Again, these can be very flexible, but just to give you a sense for how these trusts can be uniquely tailored to address your beneficiary's underlying needs and how you would hope for the trust to be administered by the trustee. So I want to reiterate that trusts are not one-size-fits-all solutions. And this is also a good point to note that there's overlap. So for example, we did a previous video on substance abuse trusts. Those are trusts that are designed to provide for individuals who are suffering from substance abuse disorders. And the reality is that many people who are suffering from those disorders also have an underlying mental health condition. And perhaps their underlying mental health condition is contributing to their inability to remain sober, or perhaps it increases the likelihood that they would relapse. And so these types of trusts can be and should be uniquely tailored to the needs of your beneficiary. Another area of overlap is with special needs trusts or supplemental needs trusts. So those are trusts that are designed to provide for beneficiaries without disrupting their ability to obtain benefits. So this could include Medicaid, it could include Social Security income. So if your beneficiary is currently receiving those benefits or would likely need to rely upon those benefits in the future, whether that's a result of their mental health illness or for some other reason, you may want to consider a special needs trust. Now, those types of trusts are much more restrictive, and so they cannot be used to cover things like medical expenses and certain other expenses. So you'll want to talk to an attorney in your state, and this is a really good point to bring up. The fact that when you're meeting with an attorney, These issues can be very personal, but the attorney's job is to listen and really understand your unique family dynamic and how they can structure a document that's best fit to provide for your beneficiary. So these are things that I would encourage you to be very open about in the estate planning meeting, things that you should absolutely discuss with the estate planning attorney. And with that, I hope that this information was helpful to you. If it is, please let me know, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.